The name is Bond. James Bond.
Hello there, 007 fans. Today we're diving into 5 memorable meals from the James Bond universe. Dishes either eaten on screen or mentioned in the books and films. From fine dining to downright puzzling concoctions, these culinary moments reveal more about Bond and his world more than you might think. So join Zains007Fancast as we grab our tuxedos or aprons and let's tuck in. Conch chowder, Bond's Bahamian favourite, Thunderball 1961. James Bond knows a surprising amount about conches, particularly their romantic reputation. While charming Domino Vitali over drinks in Nassau, he teases her with the fact that conches are considered an aphrodisiac and that island folk traditionally enjoy conch chowder on their wedding night. This steamy little culinary detail appears in both Ian Fleming's novel and the 1965 film Thunderball, giving it the rare honour of being a Bond dish celebrated on page and screen. If you ever fancied trying it yourself, here's a Bond-inspired version close to the Bahamian original, and surprisingly manageable even if you try to prefer things mild. Containing fresh conch meat, onion, tomato, green pepper and potatoes, smoked bacon lardons, and depending if you are the spicy kind like James Bond, a few drops of hot pepper sauce. Get herby with bay leaf and thyme and finish with a little parsley to garnish. It's hearty, fragrant, slightly smoky, and unmistakably Caribbean, exactly the sort of dish Bond would savour after a day of diving in Nassau before getting ready for a night of love. Out of all meals on our list, this one does sound very palatable, minus the hot sauce. Salad Utopia 1970s in a mould, Diamonds Are Forever 1971. Few Bond dishes are as bewildering or as entertaining as the mysteriously named Salad Utopia offered to 007 by the eccentric assassins Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd aboard the cruise ship in Diamonds Are Forever. The film gives no explanation whatsoever, leaving fans and food historians scratching their heads for decades. It's not a recipe you'll find in Escoffier, nor does it appear in any known culinary tradition. Most likely it was a whimsical invention of the scriptwriters, an exotic sounding dish to match the surreal final act of the film. However, author Matt Sherman in James Bond's cuisine, every last meal offers a suggestion, a sweet, wobbling concoction of gelatin, pineapple and cheese, very much in keeping with the quirky 1970s fondness for oddball salad courses. Whether this truly reflects the intentions of Wint and Kidd is anyone's guess, but it has secured Salad Utopia a place as one of the strangest and most speculative dishes in Bond history. Another theory is that Salad Utopia might have been inspired by the kind of quirky, crowd-pleasing dishes that graced many British and American dinner parties in the 1970s. Think of the tinfoil hedgehog, bristling with cheese and pineapple toothpicks, or the brightly layered jelly mold, sometimes 2 colors, sometimes with fruit mysteriously suspended inside. One recipe unearthed on food.com comes surprisingly close: lemon gelatine dissolved and combined with cottage cheese, sugar, vinegar, whipped cream and crushed pineapple, then finished with a sprinkle of shredded cheddar on top. It may not be everyone's idea of a utopian salad, but it certainly fits the era's adventurous interpretation of gourmet. Caviar, quail's eggs and foie gras. Bond's high-level snack pack, Never Say Never Again, 1983. Connery's unexpected return and one of the film's most wonderfully indulgent little moments, Bond's shrublands lunch. So picture the scene. Bond is supposed to be on a strict, monk-like detox at the health clinic. No booze, no thrills, and absolutely no rich food. It's all carrot juice, herbal teas, and exercises designed to make even a 00 agent question his life choices. But Bond, being Bond, has other plans. He casually unveils what can only be described as the most decadent picnic ever smuggled into a wellness center. We're talking beluga caviar, the real top shelf stuff, perfectly chilled. Quail's eggs, perfectly peels, a generous portion of foie gras, because of course, and then the final flourish, a miniature bottle of Swedish vodka Absolute, the kind that would make any health guru faint on the spot, while his female companion opts for dandelion salad, goat's cheese and lentil delight, which sounds anything but delightful. What makes the moment brilliant is the contrast. Bond lounging in his robe, utterly unfazed, enjoying this aristocratic feast, while everyone else is sipping kale smoothies. It's Connery at his cheekiest, older, wryer, but still completely in command of his own pleasures. And it says something very Bond, no matter where he is, a casino on Monte Carlo, a villain's lair, or a health spa promising the joys of Celery, he will always bend the rules to suit his style. Even on a detox retreat, he manages to turn lunch into a statement of rebellion. It's not just a snack, it's a reminder. Bond is still Bond, even when he's supposed to be eating bran flakes. Quiche de Cabinet, Bond's surprising kitchen talent, A View to a Kill, 1985. One of the most unexpected culinary moments in the entire Bond canon comes in A View to a Kill, when Roger Moore's 007 casually whips up a homemade quiche in Stacey Sutton's kitchen. The dish, grandly titled Quiche de Cabinet, is supposedly made from whatever ingredients Bond can find in the cupboard, yet something isn't quite right. Despite clearly having been cooked in a tin, Bond pulls it out of the oven sitting neatly on a serving plate. Either the production team staged it for the shot, or Bond popped to a local bakery and passed it off as his own. Very 007. The real surprise, though, is what the scene reveals about Bond himself, the man we expect to dine nightly in fine restaurants or rely on a housekeeper, actually dabbles in the kitchen. The clues were always there. Eagle-eyed fans might recall the high-end cookware glimpsed in Live and Let Die, and literary Bond famously makes his own scrambled eggs. As for the dish, it's easy enough to recreate. The hardest part is the pastry. Bond's version uses leftovers, green and red peppers, a scattering of ham or bacon, grated cheese, olives, herbs, cream and eggs. A simple improvised quiche with a 007 flourish. Pop it into the oven, let it rise into a golden silky custard, and you've got a Bond's homely yet iconic quiche de cabinet, a charmingly domestic detour for a man more accustomed to champagne breakfasts and caviar suppers. Lobster with quail's eggs and sliced seaweed. Seafood Delight, Dine of the Day 2002. One of the most quietly extravagant dishes in the Bond canon. When 007 checks into his Hong Kong hotel after escaping from North Korea, the concierge, Mr. Chang, suggests a decadent pairing. Lobster served with quail's eggs and sliced seaweed. It's a tiny moment, but it perfectly captures the Bond formula. Luxury with an exotic twist. The dish blends rich European indulgence with East Asian flavors, echoing Bond's globe-trotting palate, and while the combination might sound unusual, it ties into a long Bond tradition. Fleming and the filmmakers often used food to signal culture, class, and sometimes just a hint of eccentricity. Quail's eggs pop up in several Bond adventures, from caviar pairings to fine dining sequences, while seaweed-based cuisine appears in Bond's Asian missions. In Die Another Day, this dish isn't just a meal suggestion, it's world-building. It reminds us that even when he's bruised, battered, and newly escaped from captivity, James Bond is still a man who expects his lobster prepared with style. Thank you for joining us. Please comment on which dish would be your top pick, like and subscribe. Remember, here at Zains007Fancast, we do it better.